21-year-old kid, nicknamed the Quad God, walks into the 2026 Winter Olympics as the most dominant figure skater on the planet. He is not just a favorite, he is the favorite. The entire world expects gold. His coaches expect gold. His country expects gold. And then, everything falls apart. He falls, twice, in front of the world. He goes from first place after the short program, 5 full points ahead of his nearest rival, to 8th place by the end of the free skate. 8th, not silver, not bronze, 8th. And just like that, the biggest sporting upset of the year is complete. A largely unknown skater from Kazakhstan named Mikhail Shidorov walks away with the Olympic gold medal that was, by almost every calculation, supposed to belong to Ilia Malinin. But here is the part nobody is talking about, and it might be the most controversial chapter in this entire story. 6 weeks later, Ilia Malinin does something remarkable. He walks onto the ice at the World Figure Skating Championships in Prague, Czech Republic. The crowd holds its breath, and over the next 4 minutes and 30 seconds, he delivers one of the most dominant performances the skating world has seen all season. 5 quadruple jumps, a personal best short program score of 111.29 points, a total score of 329.40, a number so staggering it would have beaten every single skater at the Milan Olympics by nearly 38 points. He wins his 3rd consecutive World Championship title, back to back to back, and he does it with a roar. You would think the world would cheer. You would think this would be the redemption arc the internet had been waiting for. But one woman, a 2-time Olympic medalist, a former world champion herself, wasn't buying it. And when she opened her mouth, it hit like a thunderclap. Her name is Evgenia Medvedeva, and just months before this, she was calling Malinin the brightest contender for Olympic gold. But now, her tone had changed completely. In a candid YouTube interview, she was asked directly, did Malinin make up for the Olympics at Worlds? Her answer? Blunt, surgical, unsparing. How can you make up for the Olympics? She said. No, there's no way to make up for the Olympics. He just won another world championship. That's all. Sit with that for a second. That's all. Not a celebration, not a softened consolation. 3 words that carry the full weight of what every serious athlete in the world understands. The Olympics happen once every 4 years. They are not interchangeable with anything else. A world championship, no matter how impressive, cannot fill the space that an Olympic gold medal leaves behind. And here is what makes this story so layered and so deeply human. Malinin himself said almost the exact same thing. They are 2 different things, he told USA Today. It's good that I was able to end the season on a good note, and I'm proud of that. But also, they're 2 completely different competitions in the end. The real redemption will be in 2030. Think about what that means. A 21-year-old, 3 world championship titles in a row, the only skater in history to successfully land a fully rotated quadruple axel in international competition, and he is already counting down to 2030. Because he knows the Olympics are the only stage that defines a legacy in a way that nothing else can. But let's go deeper, because this story is not just about one skated program. It's about pressure. It's about identity. It's about what happens when the greatest version of you shows up to the biggest moment of your life and you freeze. Before Milan, Malinin had been destroying the competition for 3 straight years. He won the 2025 Grand Prix final with 7 clean quadruple jumps in a single program, a world record that belonged in a highlight reel. He entered the Olympics having won 3 consecutive national titles. His own coaches are former Olympians. His parents are former Olympians. Figure skating runs through his blood like oxygen. And yet, standing in that starting pose in Milan, something happened that no training in the world could have fully prepared him for. He later described it in one of the most honest interviews you'll see from any elite athlete. I just had so many thoughts and memories flood right before I got into my starting pose, and almost, I think, it maybe overwhelmed me a little. That is not weakness. That is the Olympic machine doing what it has done to champions for a century. The pressure is not just pressure. It is the accumulated weight of 4 years of preparation, an entire nation's expectation, and the knowledge that for some athletes, this is the only moment that will ever define them. And yet, Simone Biles was watching from the stands. She saw what was happening. She had lived it herself at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021 when she withdrew to protect her mental health. So she reached out. She sent him her number. They met, and she told him something that resonated so deeply. Malinin said exactly this. Exactly. You finally just said it. We do not know the full details of that conversation, but we know what it means when someone who has been through the fire tells you they understand. Now fast forward again to Prague, to that roar at the end of his free skate, to the fist pump, to the man who covered his face in Milan, now screaming with pure relief at the ceiling of the O2 Arena. His score of 329.40 flashes on the board, 22 points ahead of second place. The comeback is complete, by every metric except the one that matters most to him. And that is what Medvedeva saw. That is what she was saying. The scoreboard in Prague tells one story, but the scoreboard in Milan tells a different one. And in the brutal, unforgiving world of elite sport, those two stories do not cancel each other out. Is she right? Is it fair to diminish a third consecutive world title by pointing to an Olympic 8th place finish? Or is the skating world holding Malinin to a standard that is frankly unreasonable, expecting perfection from a 21-year-old competing on the biggest stage in the world under a pressure that Medvedeva herself, as a former Olympian, knows better than anyone? Here's the part that no one is saying out loud. Malinin's 329.40 world score would have won Olympic gold by 37.82 points. That gap is not a coincidence. That gap is the difference between Ilia Malinin under the Olympic microscope and Ilia Malinin when he is free to be himself. It tells you everything about what happened in Milan and everything about what is possible in 2026. The quad god is not broken. He was just, for 6 weeks, human. And if you are someone who has ever worked towards something enormous and fallen short on the day it mattered most, if you have ever felt the weight of expectation crush you at the worst possible moment, then Ilia Malinin's story is your story too. The question is not whether he redeemed himself in Prague. The question is, what happens in 2026 when the world watches him step onto that ice again? 4 years, 1 goal, and a score of 329.40 sitting in his back pocket as a reminder of exactly what he is capable of. Stay tuned, because Ilia Malinin told you himself, there is more coming. If this story moved you, hit that like button right now and subscribe so you do not miss the next chapter. Drop in the comments, do you think Medvedeva was too harsh, or was she simply telling the truth? This debate is just getting started.